Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Today we have an honor of having our very good partner, AudioCodes. This is really unique partner that plays in two categories of the Office 365 solution, in IP phones and infrastructure. And I have an honor of hosting here today Eric and Mike. Eric and Mike, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, my name is Eric Bauer. I'm the VP of Marketing and Business Development. And on today's video, I'll be primarily talking about a lot of the positioning and a lot of the higher level aspects of our solution.
Great, and I'm Mike Earps, UC Solutions Manager. My focus is around our Microsoft solutions and product sets from a technical aspect.
Perfect, thank you for that. And in this video, we will talk about the three core things. We'll make an overview of AudioCodes as a company. We'll talk a bit more about the product line of AudioCodes, and we'll tell a bit more on how AudioCodes can build a partnership with you and how you can partner with AudioCodes. Eric, Mike, let's start off with talking about what's the history and what's the story of AudioCodes as a company, who you are.
Yeah, absolutely, you bet. So AudioCodes is an Israeli-based company focused primarily on VoIP, which is voice over IP, converged VoIP networks, as well as data networks and products and communication applications, both in the service provider and the enterprise space. We are publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and we've been in business well over 20 years, really the last 12 of which we've been partnered very closely with Microsoft. Now, from a product line standpoint, as you mentioned, we're pretty unique in the fact that we do quite a broad set. Everything from IP phones to session border controllers, which really help with the connectivity into the voice network, as well as gateways, which is really our way of connecting yesterday with tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then also some things more in the service provider space, from multi-service business routers to small office, home office routers as well, and then a full line of services to really complement that on the network and the professional services side. Now, we also have a global sales, support, and logistics covering local presence in 14 different countries, and then a very robust partner network and distribution network that really allows us to operate really every country in the world.
That's perfect, and I think that's really great. As I said, you play in two categories, in IP phones and infrastructure, and your background is really good. You are a global company, you're a truly global company, you're public traded, that gives some assurance both for a lot of partners and for Microsoft also, and you have a good experience of 20 years and 12 of them with Microsoft. Absolutely. That's very good. Let's switch the gears and let's talk a bit more about IP phones. And can you tell me a bit more why your IP phones, AudioCodes IP phones, specifically kind of interesting for Office 365 service, and why those phones are a really important component of this end-to-end solution? Eric, I would ask you from strategy standpoint, what do you think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, Office 365 is quite a broad solution set. There's a number of different things that really are encompassed by it. And what we really focus on the phone side of things is really bringing that UC experience to the user. And really what that means is the fact that voice is still a critical aspect, right? As far as all the other collaboration, very important, but we really believe that voice is and will remain a critical aspect. And so, you had mentioned about some of the utilization or uptake we've seen in phones. And what we've seen is really it depends based on vertical, right? So we probably average between 40 and 60% of the users using IP phones. Now, we have examples in school districts where it's 100% adoption, where each of the users are using IP phones. But then on the other side, we also have situations where maybe 15 to 20% based on the actual user type that are using phones, right? So that's why we kind of fall in the middle, but it really depends on vertical. But one thing's very consistent. When there are more phones involved, there's that comfort level, and it really helps deployment, adoption, and consumption. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. And I like your data point about 40 to 60% on the average deployments. That's just perfect. And I assume it's just based on your kind of deployment experience.
That's exactly right. It's based on really what we've sold and the success that we've had in the business and in the industry.
That's perfect. And Mike, can you tell a bit more from technology point of view? What do you think about why really those phones are a critical component of the solution, and why AudioCodes phones?
Yeah, so absolutely. So not only do we have a few different flavors of the IP phones that we have to offer, but we're consistently updating and evolving those phone sets with Microsoft and Skype for Business and the different feature sets that are coming through the evolution of that product set. Also, from a voice quality perspective, our DSPs, our digital signaling processors, we've had those from the beginning of our company existence, and we've been able to really evolve our phone set and also our infrastructure products to support the latest and greatest from a codec perspective. So voice quality is obviously a very critical piece to a phone system, and we want to make sure that the users get the best experience possible as they utilize Skype for Business. And it really, again, wraps that full solution around Skype for Business so that the users, when they do get this new phone set, are not only comfortable with how it's working on their desk, but also the quality of their phone calls.
That's perfect. I think it's very reasonable, and for me, it's definitely convincing. And just to recap that, so you guys working on this Office 365 certifications, that matters to us a lot, to our customers and partners. That's a lot, definitely. And you have this unique DSP, and you kind of also aligned with Silk format. That's kind of a lot in the modern world, for sure. And well, again, I want to say it again, you are a unique partner. You have those two assets. You have IP phones and you have infrastructure, and you can benefit on having just one core and manageability. I think that's perfect.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me just a bit more? What are your key selling points from the feature point of view, from the product models point of view, from all the line of the models that you have? Like, how do you position that?
Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the things that we've really focused on is bringing a full line of IP phones to market, right? And so that includes everything from our really common area phone 405 up through our 420s, our 430s, and our newest 450, which we actually happen to have sitting on our desk here. And then also the upcoming conference phone that we're going to be bringing out here in early 2017. And the reason we do that is to make sure that we really solve all of the audio needs of an organization, right? Now with that, so we have a full line, and we have a lot of consistency in that line. Right, so that you have large clear buttons, right? Very simple, very easy to use, right? The primary purpose of a phone is to make and place and receive calls, and then also consistency of menu with a streamlined interface, right? So it's very easy to use, and really any of the versions, whether it's the 405 entry level all the way to the high-end executive 450, it's the same look and feel and the same usability. And then we've really focused on giving that executive experience across all phones, while also maintaining, market competitive pricing. We want to make sure that we're the leader, not just in technology, but also in being competitive out there in the space.
That's great. I think it's key to have the simplicity of use for all your 5 phone models and the new one, conferencing phones that is coming out to the market soon. And it's nice that you have same experience everywhere, on every model line, across all the, ranks of the company. That's just perfect. And I like the point about competitive pricing. That matters to our customers, for sure.
Absolutely.
Dollars matter.
Eric, and can you tell me just a bit more about manageability? Does it matter at all in the modern world?
Yeah, it's actually a great question. And what we've seen, and really what we focused on, is we've built our phones from the ground up to be the most manageable in the business. The reason being is that, although you spend a lot of money on these phones, it's really that ongoing cost that can really start to creep up. And so what we've really focused on is full lifecycle management, not just the deployment, but also the ongoing management to make it simple for IT organizations to actually go out there, update firmware, make sure it's performing, do various provisioning tactics with it as well. And so we really believe that that's a key aspect and a key differentiator, because it does support all of our phone lines from the 405 all the way up to the 450 and the upcoming conference phones.
That's great. And just wanted to know just a bit more. Mike, you mentioned about the DSP, you have those unique DSPs, and it's a unique point for your company for sure. And you also mentioned Silk before, your alignment with this format. Can you tell me a bit more? Are you guys planning to align with the new formats? That it's constantly evolving. There is something new on the market. So
Absolutely.
What's the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. So in previous versions, there was an older codec that was used, and as Skype for Business has evolved, as you mentioned, Silk is now the codec of choice to be that dynamic, adaptive codec, and really, as I mentioned earlier, increase that user experience across the board. With our DSPs, since we have the control of those DSPs and the ability to engineer at a rapid pace, anytime something new might come out, for example, Opus, another codec that is out in the market today as well, we're able to add support to that very efficiently, so that not only can we utilize what exists today, but also use these phones and potentially future models in the future, and not need to sort of upgrade or do anything of that sort.
That's great. I love the fact that there is no need to upgrade the hardware or buy
Exactly.
something new. I think that's just perfect value prop for
Exactly.
partners and customers. That's great.
Exactly.
Now, let's switch the gears and let's just help our partners kind of to learn how to sell those devices.
Yeah.
And just to make it more simple for our partners, we can do the following. We can play a bit of a role play, right? So there are two audiences that we usually care about. There are BDMs and TDMs. Why don't we do the following? Let's imagine that I'm the CEO or key decision maker of the company, the BDM. How would you sell me your phones? What are the key selling points?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and certainly enjoy role plays when it comes to trying to position and sell. And if you look at the phones within an organization, right, you've made an investment in Microsoft, you've made an investment in productivity and collaboration. Phones are kind of that last mile. They really drive the UC experience home, right? So we know that they're important to make sure that you get this adoption and make sure you get this consumption, right? But the phones alone aren't going to do that. Right? We know that you want to maximize the investment in your core communications. That's why you're moving down this path. But then also focusing on the fact that these are very simple to use, streamlined user experience, and really give you an executive experience, but not only just you, but also everyone else in your organization, that executive experience, all the way from the high-end phones, all the way down to your common area phones, right? And then the other thing that I like to mention is they're very competitively priced. So you can kind of rest easy knowing that you're going to be able to have the right solution at the right price point to drive that core communications and be successful with your Microsoft business.
That's perfect. I like all your 3 points. Well, I like the good ROI. That matters to me a lot.
Yeah.
I like the fact that your phones are simple to use and at a reasonable price. That's just perfect. I'm almost kind of ready to make a decision, but I need to consult with my CTO.
Not uncommon.
Yes,
So we have
and
a
if
decision.
Mike can help me as a CTO right now to kind of finalize this decision and really prove that this is the right one, that would definitely be good.
Well, absolutely. So, we can sit and talk about the specific features of the phones all day, but at the end of the day, how are we going to implement and manage these devices? And as Eric alluded to a bit earlier, that is certainly a key aspect to putting these phones out on desks where you're not able to see them from a day-to-day perspective. So first and foremost, when we have a new phone we put into place, we want to be able to get that up and running very quickly and easily. We don't want our users to sit there and sort of fumble around with the buttons and how do I do this or that. We want it to be simple to use, simple to set up. And then from sort of a day 2 or life cycle management perspective, we want to be able to push out updates as needed, as maybe new software comes out, or potentially configuration changes, whether the date or time is changing or something of that sort with daylight savings. Little things like that might become quite cumbersome to achieve from a manual process perspective. So we really want to take that full solution set, not just the endpoint, but also the manageability around it, to really wrap everything around that and really bring that sort of TCO to the business at the highest possible that we can achieve.
It's good that all the 3 points matters to me also. The easy to implement, so I want to use as small time as possible just to implement that, and I don't want to care about management at all. I want you guys to care about that.
Exactly.
And I certainly care about the TCO, no question about that.
Yeah.
So now I understand why it matters to customers, and you're really able to sell it to BDMs and to TDMs. That's a perfect story. Now the most interesting question, we have an audience of our Office 365 and Skype for Business partners with us today. Can you help me and them understand a bit more why your IP phones matter to them? Why is it interesting to partner with you?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And ultimately, Andre, they want the best solution in the market, right? Partners want to sell what customers want to buy. And so we focus really, really heavily on making sure that we have the right solution at the right price point to meet the market needs. So that's really number one, is the fact that you're going to have success in positioning these devices. The other one is AudioCodes, as we mentioned. It's really a global one-stop shop, right? Which means we have everything not only from the IP phone device standpoint, but also up through the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And the reason this is key is it helps to reduce the complexity of architecting a solution and ultimately selling a solution, while also increasing wallet share. So you can not only sell IP phones, but also the entire solution stack. So it really provides some of that key differentiation for our partners. We've also helped our partners deploy anywhere from 200 to 180,000 seat type deployments, right? Overcoming challenge, thank you. Overcoming challenges, developing through challenges, the fact that we're the manufacturer as well. And really what that allows our partners to do is leverage our experience. You don't have to be an expert in this. You can just come to AudioCodes and we can help you. We can help you be successful, help leverage our experience and our knowledge. And then we also have local, regional, and worldwide sales, technical sales resources, and support resources to really help our partners, no matter where the deployments are, because we know in these large global deployments, 180,000 seats you're not going to do in one area. You need to have that worldwide presence, and we can really help our partners fulfill that and deliver on that.
That's perfect. I like the fact that you're reducing the complexity. That's always a good point for our partners. Our solution is a bit of a complex, and any reduction is good, no question about that. The fact that you're playing in two categories, IP phones and infrastructure, reduces that a lot. So that's really good. I like the fact that you're helping with deployments. A lot of partners will need help with deployment. A lot of customers have unique situations and really unique deployments. They will need your help in many instances. And the fact that you're present locally, it's just perfect. Well, local help always matters.
Absolutely.
Now an easy question. So have you guys made any updates to your partner program, to AudioCodes partner program, to make it a bit more attractive for our partners, for Microsoft partners, to build a partnership with you and build a business?
You know, Andre, it's a really good question. And when we developed our partner program, we really developed it to be in tune with the Microsoft community. And as a result of that, the Microsoft partner relationships have been the fastest growing over the past 5 years that we've seen in really any category across AudioCodes. So we have the majority of the global SIs, a lot of the national SIs, and really even those boutique, really dynamic regional resellers, all part of our program already. And I think really the strength of that is really a testament to the simplicity of the program. Now with that said, we do have a 3-tier program where we have our registered, gold, and platinum partners. And each one has a different level based on certain requirements and then certain benefits of those requirements when you hit those different levels. But one thing that I absolutely wanted to call out is the fact that through our distribution, anyone can purchase AudioCodes. So although we encourage people to become registered gold or platinum, you're not required to do that to purchase. So that's the first thing we wanted to put out of the way. Now, back to your point specifically, we have put some things in place to make it easier for Office 365 and Skype for Business partners to join and become part of the AudioCodes partner program.
That's perfect. And well, I just need to confess that, well, here at Microsoft, we've spent a bit of a time kind of learning your partner program. How is it organized? Is it easy to use for our partners? And I definitely love the fact that it's mapped very well with what we have at Microsoft for Microsoft Partner Network. It's almost the same. You guys have, well, kind of the same structure and competencies and levels of the partnership. I think it's good for our partners, and it kind of makes it easy to understand for partners how to onboard to your program. That I think it's very good. And I know the fact that, well, the majority of our partners, well, specifically top partners, are already part of your partner program, well, kind of helps to build the partnership to other partners, well, as well, specifically for Office 365. And, well, I think it's perfect that you have some special program offering for our Microsoft partners and specifically top partners. Yep. I think we'll need to dive deeper in that just a bit later. Absolutely. But I just want to mention this fact to all the partners that are watching to this video here. I think that's good. We all know that partner opportunity is huge. There is a demand on the market. And well, this is actually your moment right now to kind of share a bit more. So what are the next steps for partners on building the partnership with you? What are the call to actions?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And call to actions are obviously important. And really the first step is to really engage AudioCodes and engage us in a number of different ways, right? Whether that's through reaching out to our field organization, reaching out through our website to actually register as a partner, or engaging us on social media, which is a medium which we're very active in. And then if you aren't already part of it, join the partner program. It's a great partner program. Like you said, it's really modeled after the Microsoft partner program to be very simple for Microsoft partners. And then take advantage of our NFR packages, right? So our ability to get significantly discounted product in-house so that you can become an expert very, very quickly. We see that as a key aspect of success for our partners. And then let's go out and engage in some co-selling activities. Let's go out and get some business and certainly take advantage of our co-marketing opportunities and programs that we have as part of our partner programs.
That's great. I think that's a very good call to action as well. The first one, I just want to recap them for the audience here. First one, join AudioCodes Partner Program. It gives benefits and it gives knowledge and it gives you assurance that you know how to talk with customers and how to talk with BDMs and TDMs and how to basically sell the end-to-end solution. And the second part, we know that Skype for Business and Office 365 solutions are not easy to deploy in many cases. And the fact that, well, we have a lot of people in AudioCodes available locally to help you helps a lot with the selling and with the deployment process. Please try to take an advantage of that. Okay, perfect. I want to thank Eric and Mike for joining me today and telling a bit more about the company, about the product, and about the things on how to build a partnership with our partner channel and how to sell the end-to-end solution successfully. Thank you again, and thanks for watching this video.